Yeah. Are you stopping the TV halfway through? Went one in it. Right. Yeah.
Good night.
Some of the better nights than others.
You did?
Some folk are getting their bed early.
By the way, Derek, how was training this morning? How was the trip down? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, full squad to choose from, other than obviously one Mark Reynolds and Greg Tansey, who were out last week. Andy Constantine's been added to the squad from last week and has trained the last few days, so everything's good to go. Quite a straightforward session. Managed to do a bit of work at Pittodrie this morning and travelled down, no hiccups. So lads will see the pitch today, get to familiarise themselves with the surroundings, and then back to the hotel and looking forward to the game.
Where do you feel the result from the first leg region?
You know, I've always found in Europe against the better teams, and obviously Burnley are up there with anything we've played in Europe, then you normally need two strong performances. One is normally not enough. So we're well aware of, I probably felt before the game that we wouldn't have got a scoreline at Pittodrie that maybe we would have the confidence just to come here and get a clean sheet, not score a goal and get through. We always felt that we had to score here, probably get through the tie, and that's where we are. You know, it's I think Burnley were favourites prior to the game, which I totally understand. I think with their away goal last week, it makes them, they're in the box seat really, and it's all, the onus is on us to score and try and change that. But I'm confident that we can do that. You know, we've had some good results on the road in Europe. Domestically, we're normally strong on the road as well, and we always believe we can score. And there was enough evidence from the game last week, with enough good moments in the game, although we didn't capitalise and all that, that we were capable of scoring on more than one occasion. And you know, we're comfortable travelling, and we recognise the strength of our opponent. And like I say, we understand they'll be favourites for it, but for me, it's still finely balanced. It's half time in a tie, and as I said, you normally have to put two strong performances home and away if you're going to qualify from Europe.
Do you feel that in the bigger picture all of the pressures on Burnley?
Yeah, I think Burnley normally in their own league, which they operate, they're probably, even as well as they've done, they're probably underdogs the majority of the time, and they would be happy with that tag, you know, and they continually upset with the results they get. They've been fantastic over the last couple of seasons especially, so I think in this tie, from the outset and from now, they are huge favourites for it, you know, I understand that. So I don't know about pressure, I don't think they'll be feeling that pressure, but if you're asking, the expectation is that Burnley will take care of business tomorrow from the majority, and we get that, but it's up to us to try and change that perception and be as competitive as we normally are.
Much has been made about the financial gulf in terms of the leagues, in terms of the sides. Your opposite number today said that as far as he's concerned, numbers go out the window when the whistle blows. Do you buy into that?
Yeah, I do. I totally get that. It's, as soon as the ball rolls, there's a game to be won, and I understand totally. You know, I was asked last week about the difference between the two clubs and the huge financial. I was asked that question, and while I said I don't think there's a huge difference between the clubs in terms of tradition and size and all the rest of it, the league that Burnley operate in means the financial differences between them and us is huge, and they can attract a level of player. But you know, if that's what Sean said, I totally get that. As soon as the ball rolls, it's a game to be won, and my players will be confident enough that they can set about that task, and we'll see where we go. You know, I don't think that we're not coming down here thinking we don't want to just be gallant losers and good old Aberdeen down. They put up a fight. They were better than what we thought. The aim is to get through the tie. That's been the aim since we were drawn together.
But would be a massive shot in the arm. I mean, not just from a European point of view, but at this stage, going into the new season, it would be psychologically a huge shot in the arm.
Yeah, I think you take confidence from any positive experience. You know, I think whether that's winning in Europe previously, or winning cups, or winning at Celtic Park, or winning at Ibrox. You know, I think when you just harness all those positive experiences, it can not just lift the profile of the club, but certainly lift the confidence of a player individually if they're part of that. You know, but I'd rather be talking about that if we achieved it rather than what may happen. And for me, we've got it all to do. We've got a tie to try and win. Winning here against a Premiership team in the home patch is a difficult task, but it's one we feel we can win.
Derek, you've got two solid anchors. You've put the ball in their net already in this tie, and in some ways you've got real clarity about what you need to do. You need to score tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I always find in the second leg in Europe that the dynamics can change really quickly on the flow of the game, whether who strikes first and all the rest of it. You know, I remember a 0-0 at Pittodrie and going to Groningen, and we scored very much selling the game, and the whole pressure was on the Groningen team to then, it was a shock to them and they had to change. And I think it's important we try and strike first tomorrow if we can do that. But the game can ebb and flow. If Burnley score, we still need to score, as we were. So it swings and roundabouts really during the 90 minutes, and you've got to try and be ready to cope with that. If we still need a goal after 45 minutes, 60 minutes, then you obviously try and maybe force the issue. But I don't think we need to force the issue from the outset.
You saw last week that it's still an element of pre-season in terms of your fitness levels, the energy you had in the first half, the energy you had at the end of the game. Have you seen the benefit of that in the players' legs this week?
No, because it's training and you don't really get that. It's again, from the experience of playing in Europe, that first competitive game is worth everything really in terms of getting for all the players. The Burnley players will feel the benefit of having had that game. Last week was a proper game. It was a British tie. It was full of effort, very competitive. Both sets of players, a lot of good play and show as well for this stage of the season. Burnley aren't going to be at their best at this stage of the season, and neither are we. But we can certainly be competitive, and I think that the fact that we've had that competitive game and through the players' legs now, they'll be better this time around. And there's also times where I thought I think we maybe used too much energy at times in the first half, and there's tactical part of that and organisational part of that we can do better. But there's no doubting that the players were determined to put everything they had into the game, and that played out. We were very good for long spells in the game, and even when Burnley still dominated the ball second half, we still had plenty of good moments where we could have got another goal, which would have been fantastic. And it's hoping that we can be more clinical this time round when those moments arise, hopefully tomorrow night.
What's the biggest thing that you learned from that last game that you can take into this one, do you think?
No, I was probably learning more about my team, rather than there was didn't really learn anything about Burnley. We see them enough, we've watched them enough to recognise they're a good team. Their organisation, their size, their ability to handle the ball, their togetherness and spirit, all that is clear. That's why they're in Europe, that's why they finished 7th. But for my own team, I learned a lot about players who haven't played in European football before, some of them. And I like the confidence and the attitude of my players. So I think that we are looking for same again and a bit more, and I think it'll need to be that to get the result we want.
One of the other unique elements about this tie is that certainly in my career I can never think of an away European leg where Aberdeen have taken so many fans to the away stadium, 2,500.
Yeah, and we probably had a lot more if we could have, if we had a bigger allocation, but they normally make themselves heard, plenty of noise on the road, even domestically, but certainly in Europe, as I say, we've got a tradition. A lot of our best moments as a club have came through our European campaigns, and the supporters they really relish the European trips and always have done. So Europe's important to us, and we don't want this season to be the only game as Burnley. So it's important that we try and do all we can. I thought with the players fed off our crowd last week. The crowd were fantastic, and hopefully we can have something similar here. Even though we're going to be the minority, they'll still make themselves heard.
Derek,
Yeah.
Derek, who's checking the team news front? Frank Ross is
Injured, hasn't travelled.
with his groin.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also Andrew Constantine,
he's back.
The injury that kept him out last time. What was the issue?
It was just illness. It wasn't a physical injury, contact injury, anything like that. He's fine. He's travelled and he's trained the last few days. Okay.
You link with Greg Stewart this morning? Is there anything in bringing him back?
No, nothing in that at all. I've just actually spoke to his agent this morning, and he says he didn't know where that came from either. So nothing in it.
There's a story saying Swansea made an official approach for...
No, not an official approach. We've had a conversation with Swansea, and they asked about Scott's availability, and that was it. You know, I don't expect them to make an offer. If they do, then it's not something we'd be encouraging, and that was the kind of gist of the conversation.
Have you told him you don't want to do a deal, he's not for sale?
Well, I'm not saying he's not for sale, but any offer for McKenna will need to be way over the top. Whether that's this window, next window, whatever. It's not a matter of if Scott McKenna leaves Aberdeen, it's when. And obviously, from my point of view, what we want to do this season, I would rather that was further down the line. And having spoke to Scott, often enough, Scott sees the importance of keep playing the games, but you never know. I mean, Swans have just sold a centre half for 18-20 million, you know. So, and for me, Scott McKenna will be every bit as good as any those centre halves operating. Certainly, the Boyks just went. McKenna's got potential to be even better. So, we're well aware of his abilities. We're well aware that the vultures are circling and they're all having a look at Scott. And he passed his first test. If people are looking at him, how he does against Burnley, he passed his first test last week. And I'm sure there'll be people looking at him again. I think his international recognition and the way he's been playing has probably elevated him more than he would do playing domestically with Aberdeen. But for me, Scott will go straight to the Premiership in time. He'll bypass the Championship. He's too good for not to be playing in the Premiership in the future.
Is that something you've told him? You know, maybe hang on and wait for the right one? Because you are good enough.
Yeah, and I think he feels that, and that's, you know, and I think that, I've said to you before, I think that suggests the confidence of the player. You know, it's you know, human nature to get a bit giddy and excited by speculation or by the thought of maybe going on and earning a bit more money. And but I think the good players, the best players, the confident players, they wait for the right ones. And like I say, no disrespect to Championship clubs, because a lot of them have got a lot of money to spend. But Scott McKenna will go, for me, straight to the Premiership. And I'm just hoping it's not this summer, and I'm confident it won't be.
Sean Dyche was actually speaking about that earlier on. He was being completely respectful, not about Scott, just about young Scottish players. Just saying that because of the money being spent, you know, it's a big step up for anyone. He's not saying nobody can make it, just says that it is a step up. You could believe the Championship not for him right at the top.
I do. You know, there's been similar. You could look at comparisons, Danny Ward and James Maddison recently, and you know, they go straight into the Premiership for 24 million and 12 million, and they were operating at our club just a couple of seasons ago. You know, so I think the valuation of the Scottish Premier League player isn't always accurate. You know, I think it could be a lot more. Van Dijk goes all of a sudden, you know, Liverpool pay 75 million or whatever it was, but nobody would have dared paid anywhere near that coming out of Celtic. He had to go and prove himself at Southampton, but he's no even a better player at Southampton than he was at Celtic. It's just the league and where they operate. Maybe the perception is, and the majority of the time it's true, they can come and get players for less because the Scottish clubs are more in need of the money because of the financial disparities that I spoke about. You know, we're on the borders of the richest league in the world, and our league is getting further and further away from the English Premier League and the like. And until we can do TV deals that can actually help the financial situation, I would imagine Scottish players will be easy to plunder. But McKenna won't be easy. McKenna's a proper footballer, and he'll go and improve that in his career.
You saying a few million? You think he's worth even giving?
I'm not saying anything.
Scotland.
I'm not saying anything.
Do you think Swansea were put off by you telling them what you think he's worth?
Don't know, Gavin. I don't know. You know, they were encouraged. They weren't encouraged to make a bid, but we can't stop them making a bid. And you know, it was 2-3 days ago, so we haven't heard anything since. So, but like I said, I wouldn't be totally surprised if clubs don't make contact, you know, before the window closes.
Have you spoken to Scott about this Swansea interest? Because I know he's kept in touch with Hull stuff, but
Yeah.
you don't know if there's a big game coming up.
Yeah, but
And
it's.
you've got the game Sunday as well.
I would always speak to a player if there had been an offer put in, and there hasn't been an offer. So, but out of respect, we let his agent know and let Scott know that there had been a conversation, but that was it. But Scott's priority is getting us through this tie.
Derek, there's been bids for him before. Is it good for you that he's not the type of player to be faced by this speculation?
Like I say, for all the reasons I said, he's a very how he is off the pitch is how he is on the pitch. Very unassuming, just deals with what he needs to deal with, and he wants to establish himself as Scotland's best centre half, and to do that he's got to be playing football, and he understands of doing the yards, doing the games, and not going and being somebody's third and fourth choice just because there's more money involved in it.
I presume you think he can be Scotland's best centre half.
Aye. I think he is now.
A good stage for him to show it against All Night. A good stage for him to show it against All Night.
He's on the bench tomorrow, I'm leaving him out. It is, to be fair, it is a good stage for him. I think he's up against good strikers, you know, and I think that Burnley are they have had that reliance on the front two, whatever two it is, whether it's Folkes and Barnes and Wood, whatever two they go with are a handful for most defences. So you know, Scott and others will need to be fully concentrated as they were last week. Cheers.
Cheers.